Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I do so many videos in the afternoon now, I had to stop and think, is it a.m. or p.m.? I'm actually doing this video that I'm going to the beach today. I'm going to see if I might post a video from the beach if I could find anything worthy of your attention. I might post a video from the beach. All right, anyway, that being said, I wasn't sure if I could find a video. I could find a story I wanted to talk about this morning. I went through everything. And when that happens, I'll go to Right Wing Watch on Twitter because there's a lot of aggravating stuff from the right on there, a lot of unbelievable stuff, usually Nick Fuentes stuff. And that's what I found today. I am no fan of Nick Fuentes. If Nick Fuentes and his followers just spent a little less time online, a little less time playing video games, a little less time being online and hateful, and spends a little more time respecting themselves, their diet, working out, exercise, cleaning themselves up a little bit, they wouldn't whine all the time about being incels or involuntary celibate. And so this is the story here. Okay, the story's down below. There's going to be YouTube videos down below too. On Nick Fuentes' show, one of his fans sent in a picture, a shirtless picture of himself. And I think this guy actually has like a mustache, you know, like from the 1940s Germany. At first, I wasn't sure if it was real. I think this guy actually has one of these, you know, AH mustaches. And he's shirtless, and he's showing a little wimpy tricep, a little stringy. And this is a fan of Nick Fuentes sending a shirtless picture in, saying all America first men and Nick Fuentes fans should look like me, should be in this shape. And he's a skinny little stringy guy. You know, it's a joke, man. So somebody sees this, and his name is Natan Levy. He's a Jewish guy, a Jewish Jiu-Jitsu fighter, a UFC fighter. I've talked a lot of crap about UFC before, and I take it back. I take almost most of it back. After watching this guy in this fight, I have way more respect for the UFC. I was wrong. I was wrong. I have much more. I admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And after watching, so he makes fun of this Nick Fuentes fan. Now another Nick Fuentes fan sees this, and supposedly this other Nick Fuentes fan, he calls himself Ben. Okay, and Ben claims to be, you know, have a lot of experience in UFC. He's played a lot of UFC 4 online. And he's got, like, he claims to have 8 years karate and 8 years some other martial arts. And he challenges the guy that the Jewish guy that made fun of the other shirtless Fuentes follower. He challenges him to a UFC match. He challenges this professional UFC fighter, Natan Levy, the Jew Jiu-Jitsu. I think that's what he calls himself. And he challenges him to a fight. So you know, they're not sure. They actually get on. They actually trade private DMs, and they set it up. And he actually, the Nick Fuentes fan, Ben, actually shows up at Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. That's where this video comes in. You can watch this. You guys got to watch the video. I'm going to try to give you an overall of the video. So this Nick Fuentes fan, Ben, shows up to meet Natan Levy, the Jiu-Jitsu fighter, Jiu-Jitsu, and right off the bat, let me try to paint a picture of the Nick Fuentes fan. He looks like an overweight howdy doody with a full-on fro and beard. Picture that. Overweight, howdy doody, full-on fro, beard. Almost like a clown without makeup, though. You know, and I don't usually like to make fun of people, but people like this, Nick Fuentes fans, I'll make the exception. I could see why these guys aren't getting the attention of women. Oh my God, if they look like these, if this is an example of what these Nick Fuentes fans look like, it's not just what they look like, but if they just got offline and this guy's just chubby and overweight and flabby. Okay, so he gets there, and all of a sudden his rhetoric goes right out the window when Natan Levy, the Jewish Jiu-Jitsu fighter, goes in and meets him for the first time, and you can see the Nick Fuentes fan, Ben, the overweight howdy doody, looking at him, and he all of a sudden all of the fight goes out of his sails, and he says, you know, he's not really he said he wanted to fight this guy because he wanted to fight Natan Levy, the Jewish jiu-jitsu fighter, because he was critical of somebody who associates himself with America first and the political values I value. The political values I value. That's a direct quote from the Nick Fuentes follower. But then once he gets right next to Natan Levy, you know, he's kind of easing up on the rhetoric. You know, he's saying, well, the guy questions him about everything that happened in World War II, 6 million Jewish people and all that. And the guy's just backing down. He's saying, well, I think Nick Fuentes is just kind of revisionist, and there's a little question with the numbers over the years. You know, there's no question with the numbers. It's 6 million Jewish people were killed, all right? And he actually makes this guy say this at the end of the match, all right? So, like I said, right off the bat, the Nick Fuentes follower, the Nick Fuentes fan starts, you know, wimping out. They get in the ring, and it's just what you'd expect. They sparred out. Actually, the Nick Fuentes fan, he actually had a little more fight than I even expected, but that's not saying much. Natan Levy made short work of him. You could tell he was being easy on this guy. Some of the quotes from Natan Levy, the Jewish jiu-jitsu fighter, I freaking love. He says, sometimes education is painful sometimes, and this guy needs to be educated. And he says it's a classic case of F around and find out. I love this dude, man, Natan Levy, the Jewish jiu-jitsu fighter. And he makes short work of this dude. This is where you got to watch this video. He gets him down a few times, and he's just, you know, he's pounding the fat belly, and you see the jiggle, you know, he jiggles like jelly. This is what I'm saying. If they spent less time online and had a little more respect for themselves and treated themselves better, and stopped whining and complaining about other races and other people and other sexes all being the cause of their downfall. You know, it's just a bunch of whining, blaming other people for where they are in life. That's all Nick Fuentes is. That sums him up and his fans right there. Just whining and complaining and blaming everybody else for their station in life. That sums it up perfectly. So Ben, the Fuentes follower, taps out once, and then he makes short work of him. He gets him on the ground and hits him in the face, hits him in the belly. Then this is the second fight is even better. I'm not sure the names of these people. Ben said he was there to protect the honor of Nick Fuentes. And when I heard somebody say that, it sounds like they're talking about like a bride or a woman. You know, I'm there to protect their honor. And then, so after the first fight between Ben, the Nick Fuentes follower, after he got his butt kicked by the jiu-jitsu fighter, Natan Levy, this second guy comes up, another Nick Fuentes fan, and says he's there to protect the honor of Ben, the first Nick Fuentes fan. He's there to protect his honor. And he's just another loudmouth, overweight dude. And this guy gets really messed up by the second jiu-jitsu fighter. I think it's another, I'm not sure if the second jiu-jitsu fighter is Jewish too, but he's a friend of Natan Levy, the first jiu-jitsu fighter. And he just makes short work of this dude and bloodies him up really good. I freaking love this video. Both of these guys, both of these Nick Fuentes fans changed their tunes. As soon as they walked in the door, the first one, Ben, all the trolling came out of his sails. You know, he was singing a whole different tune. He's not I forgot how he put it. He's not a neo-Nazi. He's just a troll or something. He was just trolling. So, you know, he just starts wimping out right from the very beginning. You got to watch this video. I apologize. I do apologize. I got a lot more respect for the UFC and the UFC fighters. After watching these two guys, these two UFC fighters, I was wrong. And I apologize for that. My overall view of like the UFC Saturday night fights, you know, the whole Trump supporting crowd there, I'm still, you know, not apologizing for that. But these two UFC fighters and the fight and everything that went on there, it was very skillful. It's something I definitely respect, and I was wrong. All right, so you guys got to check this out. Check the video out down below. Watch Nick Fuentes fans get their butts kicked. All right, I'll be back later, probably from the beach with another video. You guys have a good Wednesday.